Hey Shadakshi, how are you?
I am doing good. How are you?
Doing very well. Where are we right now?
We are in Chiang Mai, Thailand.
Okay, so Shadakshi, I have to ask you some incredibly important questions for those who will be appearing or will be doing their MBA in time to come. Your team has curated a list of questions that you would have received on your Instagram. So all the mistakes, grammatical, are from your team. So please fire them because there were many.
Sure.
Okay, first question is: does certification like CFA level 1 really help in justifying a year gap when applying for top business schools?
It can if you write the story well.
My sister wants to pursue MBA, but her family could not afford fee for the same. Is there any way around that?
I'm sorry to hear that. In fact, that's why we started Impact MBA Scholar Program at globalgovernanceInitiative.org, where a lot of people, 5,000 more than alumni, have pivoted into management consulting, public policy, and product management. So you could check that out.
Okay, so don't fire your team. They have curated some really good questions. The first one I was just kidding. So how to choose MBA specialization, Satakshi?
Choose based on your goals. If you want to get into HR, choose specialization for HR. If you want to get into supply chain, choose operations as your specialization. And if you want to get into investment banking, choose finance as your specialization. So choose goal first, specialization will come in naturally to you.
Can a non-finance background student get into a finance role in top business school during summer?
Absolutely, you can. That's why you do an MBA. If it's a top business school, you will have a very high shot. Make sure that you get your skills well around Excel, modeling, financial valuations, etc.
Is there any scope for me to do my second MBA from ISB or any institute abroad, given that I'm into HR? Why would you make two mistakes twice?
You can. I would not call ISB a mistake or any other school a mistake. I'm not sure what's stopping you. Please make sure that you do it well, like the questionnaire here is saying. But there is nothing stopping you. You should be able to do it.
How much money is required to do an MBA from abroad?
It could cost you anything between 0 to 2 crores. 0 when you get complete scholarship. I know of a lot of friends, in fact GGI alumni, who after GGI still wanted to do a formal degree from Harvard Business School, London Business School, etc. 2 crore when you don't get any scholarship and you're studying at the premium Harvard Business School.
I am not from tier 1 college, but I want to stay in technical domain. Should I do an MBA?
I don't suggest you do an MBA in that case. So you could eventually do an executive leadership program. MBA is largely used for people who want to pivot sectors or who want to massively get a higher return on investment and who still want to remain in the business and strategy side of things. If you're very clear, you want to remain in tech, don't waste your time and money. There are alternatives out there, cheaper and better.
How to answer why MBA in college essays?
I answered it for ISB by writing in short term I want to get into consulting and development consulting, and in long term I want to become an entrepreneur, which I did. Similarly for GGIans, when they write their applications for Impact MBA Scholars Program, they write why do they want to join, so that synergy between GGI and the student has to be very high. So have clarity over your goals. Write about what skills you have, what skills deficit do you have, and how will the school fit for you.
Any advice for students applying for graduate roles in product management?
Nothing really. Product management out of all the business roles, I believe, is the least one that requires a degree. If you're still taking a degree, make sure that you're very strong on first principles and you get your network sorted who is going to eventually help you with that job.
I want to ask, is UK a good destination to pursue a master's degree?
I will be very candid. I don't think very highly of UK to pursue a master's degree, because I actually know of a lot of anecdotes and examples from India who came back without a job. You may want to do a degree for enlightening your thought horizons, but why would you want to spend lakhs You could go to an ashram or you could actually join any club for that activity. There are outliers to that, such as London Business School, but I don't think very highly of a lot of master's program in UK that Indians choose for.
UK is, by the way, a phenomenal destination for terrible weather and good fish and chips.
Yes, fish and chips are my favorite too.
And warm beer. Who would drink warm beer? Okay, so being a BTech student, how many years of work experience is desired to join target MBA college?
It's a good question. BTech, non-BTech, for UK schools the average is 5.5 years. For US it is 5 years. However, you should not even look for averages. You should do an MBA when you have stagnated in your life. I know of friends who never did an MBA and yet are having thriving careers. So if you sense that you are going to stagnate in your career in the next 1 to 2 years, you should consider doing an MBA, otherwise not.
What are your views on integrated course, BBA plus MBA?
I don't think very highly of them. Sorry about this, but I want to protect the money of my YouTube community and I want to be as honest as possible. MBA has always been a professional degree, not an academic degree. That means that you should have professional experiences for 2 to 3 years before you actually do a degree. So I'm sorry, I don't think very highly of them. There could be exceptions involved, but that's my honest stance to all of you.
So integrated courses are integrated way to waste time and money. You can quote Shatakshi.
Maybe, yes.
Is 27 too old to start preparing for GMAT?
Oh my, I'm not sure who's feeding such nonsense in your brain. 18 is not too early to start, 27 is not too old, neither is 35. Do what suits you. Please don't think of what is too early or too old. The world will always categorize or think in boxes. You should not.
Why MBA degree has so much of hype?
I know, right?
MBA in consulting or MS in business analytics after BTech?
There is nothing called MBA in consulting. However, if you want to get into analytics only and you can get a job from that MS degree, choose MS in analytics. And if you want to get into consulting, choose an MBA school where consultants are hired from, such as HBS, such as TUC. There is ISP in India, IIM Ahmedabad also in India. I have certain strong views for and against IIMs, but there is nothing called as MBA in consulting. You do MBA in other specializations and you join consulting.
Let's see a final. Should I get a master's degree or work experience?
Work experience, any day. Degrees are fabricated and artificial experiences. The more you get experiences outside of your cocoon, the better will be your exposure.
Shatakshi, does an international degree add value if you want to return to India?
Anything that you do in life will eventually at some point of time will add value, and so will an international degree will be. There are examples of a lot of leaders sitting at the top of conglomerates and governments in India who came back to India, but after some point of time. However, if you're clear, you can do that, but the only financial constraint will be why would you want to take your loan in dollars and pay back in INR? Typically, that's why people take their loans in dollars and pay back also in dollars, at least in the short term.
Now, Shatakshi, a very controversial question.
I'm up for it.
Masters in public policy or masters in business administration?
It's a very good question. A question that I myself had a conundrum when I was preparing. If you're very clear that you want to build your career in public policy, then choose MPP. However, if you're kind of having a conundrum that you could be in development sector and you could actually see yourself building a career in businesses and private sector as well, do an MBA. You could actually get into a World Bank or a McKinsey from an MBA, but the probability of you getting into BCG and McKinsey from an MPP is very less until you do it from Kennedy School. So that is what my answer will be. Very clear, choose MPP. If kind of in conundrum, MBA could be your go-to way.
Shatakshi, how to build a profile for ISB?
I really don't know the answer to that question because I never quote unquote built a profile for ISB or for any other business school where I had an offer from. I always lived my career very purposefully and courageously so. I wrote authentic applications. I was very lucky to get recommendation letters from my bosses such as the former chairman of McKinsey & Company. Do diligence to your work, be honest to your work, choose your career really very well, and I'm sure not just ISB but many other places will open doors for you.
Masters in finance or MBA?
If you want to get into finance and this particular degree in finance could actually get you into Goldman Sachs, Deutsche Bank or leading private equity in New York, do masters in finance. otherwise do an MBA.
What are the essentials for MBA?
There are many. If you meant essentials for an MBA degree, for abroad, you need to have a good GMAT GRE score. You need to write your applications really very well. That's over and above, of course, your very good profile that people say. And last but not the least, you need to have good recommendation letters. In India, that changes with CAT being the primary exam. Many times you do not just need your recommendation letters as well, but those are largely the prerequisites for getting into a good business school.
Okay, so the next question is CFA or MBA?
CFA is a very good exam. In fact, I know of a lot of friends who did CFA and were sitting on ISB MBA campus as well. If you're very clear you want to get into finance once again and CFA is serving your purpose, stay with CFA. But if you're stuck in your career with CFA as well, you could try MBA as well. But I would say if you're very clear and CFA is helping you, do CFA only. Don't waste your time or money on other degrees.
All right. These were all the questions. Any last words for those who are watching you?
At the outside, thank you so much for staying tuned till this time. And I have always maintained the world is changing. People are questioning the value of degrees. If you want to do a degree, do it from a top 30-35 Financial Times ranking. I've always maintained that. And even if you get there, there is no guarantee that you will get your return on investment. So please make sure that your parents' money or your debt money or your money, you are invested well. And if you don't do an MBA, the world is your oyster. You could do a lot of other things. You could take a lot of other jobs. There are alternatives that, of course, my organization and many others out there offer. And I wish you nothing but the best. And I really hope that you advance not just in your career, but in your well-being as well. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Cheers. Bye.
And good job, team. You all deserve a raise.